I'm going to read this whole little piece here because I think it's going to get into our conversation. Still, the feeling around the Lakers is that the team is pretty much set as it is, and that no major trades are forthcoming until the season gets rolling. The Lakers have had opportunities to include the likes of Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt in trade packages already, but have declined to do so. And then here's the quote from a Western Conference executive. By the way, I'm grabbing this athlonsports.com. They usually got a lot of articles that are NBA related, a lot of Laker related as well. So FYI, grabbing this from them. Hoops Hype kind of took the clip that I'm grabbing here. This is one Western Conference executive said. They have not been attacking the trade market by any stretch of the imagination, talking about the Lakers. Most teams now are in a sort of wait-and-see mode, and I would include the Lakers in that. They want to give it some time before they make a trade. Okay, so that's it. Then I think it's safe to say that probably the offseason is officially over for the Lakers. And listen, it got stretched. I think the conversation that we had about the Lakers, and it's not uncommon for the first 2 weeks. Free agency is really over in the NBA. This one kind of leaked a little bit longer. Guys in the buyout market. Are the Lakers going to make another move, this, that, or whatever? I do think this roster is done. I do think this roster is complete. So there are kind of two topics I want to tie in together. Number one, is everyone kind of good with what the Lakers have and what they did in the offseason? And number two, what is still their biggest need, their biggest glaring need? First, let me just kind of address the title of this topic here. Lakers plan no major trades until season fully underway. I think it makes sense. I think Lakers are at a point right now where now you got to kind of just wait and see, how does this all look? I don't think the Lakers need to overreact. I think the beauty for the Lakers in the situation or the position that they're in is they definitely have players now that they didn't have this past season that fit well, that you feel like will contribute to the team. Not really having any size. Okay, well, Maxi Kleber now gets a full offseason. What's he look like? Can he contribute at all? Jackson Hayes is now not your number one big. He's your number two, maybe even number three if Maxi Kleber can make a little bit of noise. DeAndre Ayton is 26 years old. He's coming off he's coming to a season that's so critical for his career. What can that possibly mean for him? Marcus Smart. All right, there's another player. If he's healthy, can he be the player that he was 3 years ago when he was in Boston? It's not like he's 35, 36 years old. He's around 31, 32 years old. Does he still have some, mileage left in the tank, gas left in the tank? And we're obviously going to wait and find out here. Did Luka, who reportedly lost 30 pounds in the offseason, did Luka Doncic, with what he was able to do with his offseason, is he an even better version of himself? Is he a leading candidate, MVP candidate throughout the season? Is Austin Reeves a little bit better? Is Jake LaRavia going to be a player that maybe not enough people are talking about? Is Gabe Vincent, who's going into the final year of his contract, along with Rui Hachimura, are these important years for them so they could prove and show that they still got a lot of value left in the NBA? I think the biggest question for the Lakers is going to be, how much do the new pieces fit to what you currently have, and how much do the existing pieces, how much did they get better from the loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves to the start of next season? And I think there's a lot of question marks there. So I don't think it would be fair to put this pressure on Rob Pelinka. You didn't do enough this offseason. No, I thought he did what he needed to do. I thought, the moves that the Lakers made, I definitely think that they will be able, a lot of these guys will be able to help the Lakers. And then internally, if some of these guys can just get a little bit better themselves, then that could have a major difference. But why just go kind of start acting in desperation and making moves out there that you don't really know you have the full story yet? Let training camp come on October 1st. Let the season start. Give October, November, and December. By the time you get to January 1st, I think you're going to have a pretty good idea of what the team is. And then by then, you can start acting. You can start, okay, you know what? We know this. We know that Gabe Vincent is still not giving us any value. We might have to attach a pick to go try to, go make a move for him. You know what? Dalton Connect has turned things around. He's got more value. Let's see what he offers. Rui Hachimura, he's the same inconsistent player. Maybe we got to go shop him around. We don't have enough bigs. Our bigs are not making it happen. Ayton's not making it happen. We got to go see what we need to fill in whatever voids that they have. I think the Lakers not planning to make a trade until the season is fully underway, it sounds like the right thing to do. It sounds like what they addressed in the offseason is going to need some time to see, hey, will this thing marinate or will it not? Will it be successful or will it not? What are areas that we thought, oh, this is definitely going to work and it doesn't work? What are areas that the Lakers think we didn't think it was going to work and it is working? So I'm not really surprised or shocked that the news out there is the Lakers probably not making any big time moves. If you also see the way, I think some Laker fans, there's some frustration over this. And then I think for other Laker fans, there's some understanding of it. I think if you also see the way Rob Pelinka has maneuvered for the Lakers, he's a lot more active around the trade deadline than he is in the summer. And a lot of the moves that the Lakers have made have come during the trade deadline. And whether you want to look at D'Angelo Russell or Jared Vanderbilt or Rui Hachimura, I'm going to kind of keep going down the list here. Of course, Luka Doncic, Dorian Finney-Smith. He's made a lot of moves that were primarily around the trade deadline. And I don't think that's going to be too much of a shock if the Lakers are in a similar position. I do think there will be, and, again, whether people agree with this, they disagree with this. I think there's always going to be for the Lakers weighing do we give up a draft pick now or are we trying to accumulate 3 first rounders for next season to see what happens around the rest of the NBA? Are we shedding some salary and some guys that are in expiring contracts to try to win right now and it makes the most sense, or are we thinking more long-term? So I think a lot of those questions still going to have to be answered, and I don't think anybody has answers for those questions at the moment, but I'm not surprised that the Lakers are waiting for the season to fully get started, kind of know what they have before they start making any moves. All right, let's see some of the comments here. Greek Freak will be here by the trade deadline. I will say this, and I think there's some truth to this, at least from my perspective. And there's an article I mentioned in The Athletic that's going through. Let me see what the title was for The Athletic. And Giannis Antetokounmpo was a part of this. There is a little bit, I think the Athletic article on concerns. So like, how concerned should the Bucks be that Giannis is not happy in Milwaukee? And they rate that 1 to 10. I'll get to that a little bit later. But I said this before on Giannis, and I'm not trying to make a case that Giannis, guy's coming to the Lakers, anything like that. You cannot tell me that what the Bucks have built and what they're trying to do is not sheer desperation at this point. And if Giannis stays in Milwaukee, hats off to him. It's just going to be simply, I want to be a Milwaukee Buck. I don't want to play anywhere else. I'm looking at guys like Dirk Nowitzki and looking at guys like Kobe Bryant and Tim Duncan. And I just want to be a player that stays with the same team for my entire career, because I don't know if he's going to be doing it from a basketball perspective. They got dead money with Damian Lillard. I think their roster definitely has a ton of flaws. But if you asked me, do I think Giannis Antetokounmpo will finish his career with the with the Milwaukee Bucks? I don't. That's one personal opinion, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a Laker. And we all know the only way he can be a Laker is by basically saying, I'm only going to play for the Lakers. And I think there's a lot of benefit in that if that's what he decides to do and he teams up with Luka Doncic. I think, it will be by far the most box office, not by far, but one of the most box office teams in the NBA. And he'll have legitimate chance to win not a championship or another championship, but potentially multiple championships. Thank you very much for watching the clip. Just want to give a shout out here to one of our partners, the Wallace firm. They are official injury attorney of the Sliwa Show and Hoops Talk, the entire channel. If you are ever in a need, and I hope you're not, but some type of serious injury with yourself or a family member of yours, I would like to personally help you by introducing you to the best in the business, Brad Wallace and the Wallace firm. Also got a URL out here that you can use as well. Just go to wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Thank you for their partnership, and thank you for being a part of the Sliwa Show.